We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig.
Wow! Right on the tip. Just on the tip.
And Blabs. Co-hosted by our friends from around the internet.
There is a portion of Norway where it is legally required to carry a firearm at all times.
If you're just a normal man looking for common sense in this crazy-ass world, you've come to the right place. And now, broadcasting from our homes from around the internet, it's time for Side Scrollers.
Okay, you ready? Open wide!
Ooh, welcome on out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com and SideScrollersPodcast.com. Happy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to you. It is Wednesday, right? Yes, it is. Hello. I'm Stuttering Craig. The days, they blend together these days. Man, we got a great show for you guys. So much happening in the world. It was very hard to pick a lead story today as there's so much just absolute insanity happening in this normal man world. It's crazy how that works out. We're glad you're with us. Unfortunately, Blabs is not. Blabs is soup today. She's hanging out in the background. And Blabs, by the way, if you want to chime in with GIFs or memes at any time throughout the show, you can just use any of those little videos to speak for you, because I know you're not feeling very well. But Blabs is here just on the back end. But joining us today here on this... Okay, there you go. She's already started. Joining us today, the always wonderful Mally Mouse. How are you?
Hi. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yes. Glad you're here. How's everything going in your world?
It's going good. It's my birthday eve, and I get to spend it talking about the craziness in the world. So, nothing's different.
That's right. Happy birthday eve to Mally. All right.
Thank you.
I'm not going to be the rude guy who goes, well, how old you going to be? Because girls don't like to talk about their age. That's one thing I've learned about over the years. It's really weird.
I'm pretty open about it. I feel like when you're on the internet, you got no secrets.
True. Well, happy pre-birthday to you. Do you got any special plans?
I went to Disney a couple weeks ago, so I got to go get my little birthday button and go on rides and get a churro and all that good stuff. And that's how I celebrated, so I could be home for my actual birthday.
There you go. When you go to Disney, they have all those buttons. You ever tried to stack them? Be like, it's my first time. Oh, and by the way, I'm also getting married. Also, it's my birthday. And you just get like boom, 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 boom down the line.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people like first time, anniversary, birthday all at once. It's like, wow, this is an important trip for you.
That's right. You're a pin hoarder. Those are those things. They're all over the place. It's crazy. Well, we're glad you're here. We got a lot going on today. As I said, Blabs is out sick. But hey, we're here, ready to roll. I'd like to remind everybody, we are live over at Rumble, at rumble.com/sidescrollers. We also have an X account where you could find out that Mally was going to be on the show simply by following us over at x.com/sidescrollerpod. We also have an Instagram account, don't we, Blabs?
We do. So follow us for memes and clips.
All right. So head over there and follow us on Instagram. We also have a Kick account. And of course, you can listen to the show over on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. But once again, the place where we really want you guys to go, create a membership over there, is at sidescrollerspodcast.com, where you can check out the amazing Golden Era documentary. If you're a fan of the old school GoldenEye 007 game on the N64, there is an amazing documentary available just for supporters over there. Head over to sidescrollerspodcast.com. And once again, use promo code GOLDEN and get $27 off your annual membership over there. We'd really appreciate that at sidescrollerspodcast.com. If you are new to us over here on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Join the 95,957 normal men looking for common sense in the video game space. You found it. We're here. We're ready to go. Also, let's do our best to get to 1,000 thumbs up. We do have some new merch available. I want to encourage you guys to go pick it up as well. I don't have any sort of fancy design to show you guys, but if you guys go over to sidescrollersmerch.com, you guys can check it out for yourself. Be the first one to pick it up. It's some spooky Halloween stuff. So based off some Halloween logos and classic themes and stuff. So head over there and check it out. We love it. And it's a great way to support the show. With that said, with Blabs gone today, I'm just going to give you guys a fair warning. I'll be reading Super Chats over $10. Super Chats and direct donations over $10, because I got to be honest, she's so good at handling this stuff. I don't know if I can keep up. So anything else that I'll try to show it on screen, and just know we greatly appreciate it. Like this, like space over here. So there we go. That's right. It says Blabs is sticking. He still makes it work. Hey, shut up. No, she wanted to. Space. All right.
Shut up, bitch.
Blabs from the background coming in with that. That's so mean. Just saying. Unbelievable.
Also, I do gotta say, the chat pointed something out to me. VP Mouse, I'm intrigued. Yeah, I second that. I am intrigued. I got promoted.
Did you make your name there?
I
VP
did not. That was not me.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure Blabs will create one for me as well on the back end. It's like
I was like, I just put in Mally. I didn't.
she's like a ghost from the backside. Just
It wasn't
making
actually me. When Mally popped up, it showed up saying VP Mouse, like
Oh.
automatically.
Okay,
But I'll make one for you, Craig. Don't worry.
sounds great. Thanks, Blabs. Appreciate
That's great.
that. That's good. Shane came in with the 10 over on Rumble. Says, "Hey, Craig, just came from Lady Desiree's stream, and she mentioned she'll get back to you in regards to sending you more honey." I tried to get her to send it to someone that can actually read. Hey, thanks, Shane. Yeah, Lady Desiree, phenomenal. She's the best. And I ran out of her honey last night. She sent me this wonderful Liberty honey. It's the best. It's the best honey I've ever had. My kids just loved it, and we put it in our tea and all sorts of stuff. And anyways, I want to buy it. I was like, I texted her last night. I was like, "Hey, I ran out of your honey." And she's like, "Well, I'll send you some." I was like, No. I'm just telling you, I want to buy some more. So anyways, Lars came in with the 10. Says, "Blabs, blink twice if you're forced to work against your will." She can't. She's out. She will not be blinking. Sorry, Lars. All right. There we go. Let's see if he does blink. There we go. No blinking from Jay. There we go. All right. So we got a lot to talk about today. There's been a dude who talks about a lot of things that we talk about. He is no longer allowed to volunteer at a freaking cancer hospital. We're going to get into that story a little bit later. We got a brand new popcorn bucket, which I can't wait to share with you, Mally. I don't know if you're in the popcorn bucket scene. We're going to pretty good stuff.
I actually have a couple right up here, so just
hold
a
on.
little bit. I'm not fanatic about them,
What do
but
we
yeah,
got?
it's hard to see. The electrical light parade ones are like right up here in the corner.
Okay. The popcorn bucket trend. We're on board with the popcorn bucket.
They got some good ones. They really do.
Yeah, well, we got a new one today to share. So we also have news on the Switch 2. A major leak has come out, and we're going to get Mally's first impression of that. And our Anita Sarkeesian has bumped her head out of the ground like a groundhog and is looking for money. And I'll tell you what. I asked Blabs this morning about our thumbnail, because the thumbnail says the gaming devil is back. And I'll say this before we get into that topic. I named her the gaming devil because that's the first thing I thought when I thought Anita Sarkeesian was the gaming devil. And I think that's what I'm just going to call her from here on out, is the gaming devil, because she is patient zero when it comes to all the insanity that we're seeing in the video game space. And now she wants more. So we'll be getting into that a little bit later. So pray for all of us, friends. Pray for all of us. We also have some Mr. Beast news and Space Marine 2. The CEO has apparently made a statement. We were going to talk about it yesterday, but more has come out. And the woke journalists, they don't understand. They don't understand the whole situation. It's an amazing situation. With that said, we're glad everybody's here. So, Mally, is there anything you want to talk about before we get going besides your birthday?
No, I'm just ready to get completely overwhelmed by everything going on in the world. I never really can wrap my brain around it, truthfully.
Well, we've only had two assassination attempts on a former president, potentially an ex-president, in the last 3 days. So, there's that. So, it's always fun.
3 in the last couple months, and only on the only guy that is our only hope. So,
well, good Lord Almighty. Elite Neo came in with the massive $20 super chat. Elite Neo, thank you so much for that. It says, "Hey, Craig, I emailed you about Zelda, a Link to the Past mod called Dungeons of Infinity. It's a Link to the Past turned into a roguelike, randomly generated dungeon crawler. Saw Vinesauce streaming last week. Looks solid. Huh. I don't know if I'd like to play like infinity dungeon game when it comes to Zelda, because I think one of the beautiful things about Zelda, and thank you so much for that, Elite Neo. I think the wonderful things about Zelda games is the accomplishment you feel once you beat a dungeon and the insanity you feel from playing said dungeon. Are you a Zelda fan, Mally?
I played it a little bit. I was not a hyper fan.
Not a big fan of the old school Zelda or the new school Zelda?
Really, either one. I had a lot of friends that played it a lot around me, and so I was very around it. I just never played it myself because I was like, oh, we're watching it together, you know.
Yeah, so Zelda is a very divisive community. It's like Sonic, where the people love the 2D and the 3D, and it's like there's a very big line of delineation between the two. So but it's good stuff. Thank you so much, Suna Soul Silver, and thank you so much, Jason. I'm sorry, appreciate that. Thank you, Jason. All right, so without Blabs here, guess who's doing today in gaming history? It's me. Here we are. Let's go. Let's get to it. It's today in video game history. What do we have today, Blabs? Here on the 18th, we have Pokemon Mystery Blue. Are you a Pokemon fan, Mally?
I am a little bit. I've recently gotten into it in the last few years, and I grew up watching the shows, but not playing the games, just because I didn't know it enough, and I was like, oh, I'm not a nerd about it. I can't get the games, and now I'm like, no, we're going hardcore at it. So I've gotten like Arceus and Diamond and Scarlet and those ones.
The question is, do you want to be the very best?
I can try, man, but there's like so many.
I want to be the very best. That's right. Also, we have Fishing Master. What are you doing? Fishing Master and Wasteland 2. Hey, great game, great picks today, Blabs. Way to go. You're on fire. You know, I did go back and I checked out the Today in Gaming History. And today was kind of a shit day. I'm not going to lie. There's not a whole lot to add here outside of, so, you know, let's see. The Street Fighter collection was released in 1997 for the Sega Saturn. So there's that. International Superstar Soccer for the N64 in Japan was released. Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver was released on Windows, not even like PlayStation in 1999. So, you know, it is what it is. There's Crimson Skies as well for the Windows as well. Anyways, so Blabs, today was a shit day. It's okay. All right. So there we are. Oh, here we go. Blab says, yeah, but we fishing. So Blab says, if you're going to say, if she's talking in the private chat we have behind the scenes. So it's great. All right. Let's get into it, Mally. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for Hard News. Everybody loves a good popcorn bucket. So I promised popcorn bucket. I'll give you a popcorn bucket, Mally. What do you think of the new Venom popcorn bucket coming at your face?
Oh, honestly, I don't hate it. I feel like there have been much worse designs. I think it's a little clunky to carry, but as a decoration, badass.
Very, very. You're right. I think as a decoration, that is very cool. The idea of sticking your hand into his mouth.
Yeah, that's the unappealing part. But when I this popcorn bucket craze, I should say, it's a lot more. I mean, when I go to the parks and I get one, when I got these, I say, give me the popcorn on the side and just let me take the bucket so it stays clean. I don't want butter all in my decoration. So these are becoming much more of a decoration than they are of like a novelty more than an enjoyment for popcorn.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's way more just the idea of buying it and having it as a showpiece in your background or whatever it may be. You notice the top comment over here. You already know what I'll be putting into this every night. Here we are.
That's okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my God. Hear me out.
So there we are.
Oh my gosh.
Kind of where we're going with this thing. So you know, how much is an acceptable amount for a popcorn bucket like that?
Oh gosh, like that? Oh, I feel like, well, then again, I'm also not obsessed with Venom, so the price will go up, you know, if I was biased, but considering that I'm not really biased, I feel like I would pay maybe like $20 for that at most. Like
$20 for the well, if you're a big Venom fan, I would imagine.
Then maybe it would go up. It would. I mean, I think I paid like $30 for the Electrical Light Parade, and I'm a big fan of that. So
Well, you also have the Disney surcharge on top of it as well, you know. So, but by the way, I think all this happened. It originated with that damn Figment popcorn bucket, which was massive a few years ago. People waiting in line for like 6 hours.
Yeah.
Did you have that, by the way?
I don't, because I'm not a Disney Worlder, so I'm not a Figment fan. But best believe, if they ever made an Oswald popcorn bucket, I would be driving right now.
And Oswald, that was the original one, right? The original character.
The Lucky
before
Rabbit. He's Mickey's older brother.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Well, Venom popcorn bucket coming soon. Stick your hand in it. I gotta be honest. Once again, I just want to go back to this really quick. Look at all those.
Yeah,
teeth.
I was like,
good Lord, that's scary as shit.
Well, just imagine it filled with popcorn is what I'm thinking. So not only do you have to shove your hand deep into him to get the popcorn out, but he is now going to be like regurgitating popcorn at you until you've eaten enough of it. That's kind of a weird situation. I
like the idea, what you're saying, like the idea of literally shoving your hand down his throat and just like, I mean, some people's hands may not actually fit in his mouth. Like I'm a dude with a big hand. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to get scraped up.
Wait, now we got to know how deep is the bucket? How much popcorn does it hold? Is this a
deep
large? Is this a small? What am I paying for here?
Yes. How deep is Venom's throat? That's the question we all really wanted to know when it comes to this. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. That's a great way to move on to our next story. Hey, Mally.
Hi.
We've had a lot of silly movies that have been announced recently, and we got our next movie announced as a based off a popular IP. This is one that I did not see coming. Matchbox Cars, starring John Cena.
There's so much I didn't expect about this.
Oh my God. So there we are.
Okay, so we're getting another Fast and Furious.
Right. I think that's the first thought is you have John Cena doing John Cena things. By the way, I'm just going to throw this out there. Don't really feel like John Cena is a very good actor. I think he's been given many, many chances. I don't think he's a very good actor. Your thoughts on John Cena?
I feel like I don't mind him. Maybe I don't pay enough attention to really have a very critical perspective. But when I do think about it, I do put him more in the category of like, he's being hired for his name. I feel like a lot like how, akin to how Seth Rogen and Jack Black are, where it's like, you're literally never different than who you are in your roles. We know it's John Cena, Jack Black, Seth Rogen, but you're being hired because everyone wants to see you. You know, like
right.
The Rock is a lot like that, but at least he kind of plays the role. So I like watching him act, you know, in the different things that he's been in. But when you get to John Cena, it's like, oh, that's John Cena. He's playing John Cena.
Big question that's pointed out in the chat many times is, will this be made in China? John Cena I don't know if you saw the video from John Cena apologizing several years ago to China. Did you ever see that video of John Cena?
No. What did he have to apologize for? What did he do?
See if I can find this real quick because apology. Yes, he learned to speak Japanese or Chinese. He's learned to speak Chinese, and because he said that Taiwan was its own country, and he had to go in and apologize for that.
Oh no!
Yeah, here it was.
你好，中国，这是叫西娜。我必须说，现在，在《速度与激情》中，我做很多采访，很多。
So he's more like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disrespect you, blah, 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 blah. And here's the actual, let's see, here's the actual version of it with subtitles. So,
西娜，我必须说，现在，在《速度与激情》中。我做很多采访，很多，所以在一个采访，我有一个错误，所有人问我，如果我可以用中文，速度与激情有人给我很多资讯 information，所以很多采访，很多 information，我有一个错误，我必须说，现在就是很重要。我爱更尊重中国，更中国人。我很抱歉， 对，我的错误，对不起，对不起，我很抱歉。你必须了解，我很爱、很尊重中国跟中国人，不好意思。
And
Okay,
what's
so like what did he say that was offensive? I missed that part.
he said that pretty much that Taiwan was its own country.
Oh, just that. Oh, okay.
Just
Okay.
that. Yeah.
And then he had to
So-
make a minute-long apology. Okay. Well, people are really butthurt for nothing. Like, really, what they could have done is just deem the guy stupid and be like, oh, he doesn't know, how the world works. Anyways, move on. Like, the fact that he felt pressured by his PR team to make an apology is honestly asinine to me.
Well, it's more or less, I'm sorry, China. I know you're a big part of a box office revenue. Please go faster. Please go see Fast and Furious 9. Please.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. It was such groveling. So once again, going back to will the new Matchbox movie be made in China, or at least be released in China? The answer,
I was gonna say, released in
Yes.
China. Oh, that's a tough one. Because Disney does that a lot, where they avoid releasing movies the same way, maybe even the same versions. They'll release them almost everywhere, but then they'll release different versions in other countries, different trailers, different posters. So it wouldn't surprise me if they had to make major adjustments. Maybe he's not the center of the photo. They did that with Avengers, where in other countries, I know that they removed the colored folk from the front of the photos because in other countries that wasn't as appealing. And so they took it off, and it was very interesting.
Blabs from the back end says, John Cena be like, govern me harder, daddy.
Truth.
Hey, Matthew came in with a $20 Canadian money. Says, every time Mally's on side scrollers, I have this insatiable urge to give money. It must be something about their smile and makes me do it. It's my cross the bear. Hey, what about my smile, Matthew?
Oh.
You're just glad you're going to do that? You're just going to switch the camera on? You're not even going to showcase my
It
beautiful
was so
smile?
fast, too.
Stop it. Damn it, Blabs. All right, for those of you just joining us, Blabs is sick, so she's hanging out in the background, twisting and tweaking and being really nice. So, yes, she also wanted me to point out, she said, John Cena be like, govern me harder, China, daddy, not daddy. All the same, Blabs. It's okay. Oh, look at my boy Cam coming in. Cam, what a stud. I can't wait to have you back on the show soon. So I like your smile half as much. Hey, thanks so much. If you guys like my smile, $10 super chats. There we go. All right, thanks, Cam. Appreciate that. What a stud. All right, we have something not to smile about here, as we saw the big story, God, what is it, about a year ago with Ocean Gate, where the people went out, they made their homemade submarines, and there was the 3-day search for the submarine, and it went missing, and there was like this big international thing. You remember this story, Allie? And they're like, "What happened? They may be down under the water. They only have air for X number of days." And turns out it was all just a giant fraud. Everybody knew they were dead like immediately because the way it impacted and stuff. So they have found the Ocean Gate wreckage, at least the back half of it. And it is like, anytime you're looking at the bottom of the ocean, it's a very eerie feeling to me, just personally. But they have come about and they have found the Ocean Gate wreckage. And this is the part of the console or the submarine that was not pressurized, which is why it is still intact, apparently. I don't know the science behind it. But let's take a look at this footage, and I want to get your thoughts on this, Mally, as we go along. You can see as they're combing the ocean, and bingo, right there in front of them.
Oh my gosh.
All the wires strewn out. You can see I'm guessing this is the back half that wasn't pressurized. And I guess it's the footage that came out about it. So this is the first time we've seen this footage. I guess they found this after a week or so. The chat's saying that. So, but if you had any thoughts on this, or any questions that it may not be it, as you continue around, the logo on the side.
Oh
right
my
there.
gosh. Yep. Oh
Oof.
my gosh.
Could you imagine?
That's chill inducing when you see the logo then and you're like confirmed that that's what that is. That's wow.
Yeah. And the fact that it ended up vertical, as pointed out in the chat, man, like looks like a tombstone. Like, man, Lewis is right. Like, yeesh, just
It
kind of
does.
really
It's
yuck.
it's haunting. It is.
That's what I'm saying. Anything on the bottom of the ocean is haunting. When you see footage of like the Titanic and they pull up and like it's like looking at an old N64 game where the draw distance was like you couldn't see very far in front of you and things just kind of appeared. It gave,
Yeah.
that's what you have going on down in the ocean. And that is terrifying stuff. And
Yeah.
Blabs had asked before we started the show, she was like, do you think they'll find the controller? And I think the answer to that is no, because that was part of the pressurized sub part. So yeah, this is from June 23. So last year, but this is the first time I've seen it. And I think that's,
Yeah.
ugh.
Yeah. No, this is the first time I've seen it too. That's so horrifying too, the way that they decided to keep it from everyone and handle it. Like, so many of us out there were wondering and hoping and it's I feel like they've done this before with a couple space endeavors where it's like they are not fully truthful about what's going on because they don't want to panic anyone, and it's like you have to admit this at some point. It's either going to come out by you or not, and if it's not by you, it's going to be worse. And that's what happened when everyone figured out that they were lying. It was like, oh, they've been dead for days. Oh, gee, thanks for telling us. Like, everyone was way more upset.
I was having this conversation. I went up to play basketball last night with my old man friends, and we're playing basketball. Before basketball, I was having a conversation with this guy, and we were talking about the food pyramid and how like what a joke the food pyramid is when you look at it. And for me, like when you see these stories about where they hide this knowledge, and like for me, I go back to what was the turning point for me when I started to like wake up and I guess get red pilled by all this stuff. And I think for me, it was several years ago when I took a look back at the food pyramid, and I was like, this is all wrong. Nothing about this food pyramid is right. And like, what was your kind of red pill moment?
Oh gosh. Well, I was still in high school right when Trump was being inaugurated the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And he or running the first time, and then I was also in class when he was inaugurated. We watched the inauguration in history class, and I remember that I didn't care at that time. I was still in high school, like middle of high school, I was 16, 17. So I hadn't cared yet. I didn't have money yet. I didn't care. You don't really start to care till you have money that they start taking. So I was like blissfully ignorant, right?
Of course.
And then I was sitting in class that day, minding my own business, and I remember how visceral my peers got. My peers who, like me, had no concept of money, no, real reason to have an opinion on this. They of course could if they understood it, but they didn't. They were having opinions that other people told them to have that they had no personal connection to. They weren't mad at him for anything that he'd done to them. He hadn't done shit to them. They were just mad because they felt like they should be. And it lighted a fire in me because I was like, I started listening to him talk, and I was like, what is upsetting you about what he's saying? He's saying nothing but truth. And also, he's the only one that follows through on the shit he says. So I would rather listen to him than any of the others because they're lying no matter what they say. And my peers just got so vile and defensive and rude that it sent me down a rabbit hole of I'm going to find the truth, and I'm going to fight to find the truth. Because if people are going to get this, it's like what they've always taught you about bullies from when you were a young age. It's like, bullies stop chasing when you stop running, and bullies also feel the need to silence you when they're insecure and wrong. So it's like, well, that's exactly the same concept that's happening here. They feel the need to silence everyone else and chase you away and hurt your feelings because they can't actually debate you. And that A to B logic sent me down a path of I'm going to find the truth, and I'm going to be red pilled for the rest of my damn life.
That's a good question for the chat. Chat, what was your red pill moment? Because I think everybody has that. And mine was, like I said, such a basic thing. Like I said, this idea that, hey, you got to eat a bunch of shit, like eat all these grains. And it's like, well, why do they want that? Oh, that's right. Because they're being paid to and the fact this was all put into the United States, system and preached as gospel, like, hey, you only eat meat moderately. What? Like, are you kidding me? Like, for me, it was you look back on, I don't know, the history of man, and it's like, what did you have to eat? Meat. You had to eat whatever you can get a hold of, right?
Yeah.
And He's like, so yeah, now we should eat all this bread and processed shit. I go ahead, Anyways, interesting story, and it kind of ties back into what we were talking about before with them kind of keeping it silent for several days. What a fucked up thing, man. We're not smart enough to handle it. It's crazy.
Yeah, like we're not smart enough to get our own IDs either, which is why you're not requiring voter ID.
Wow. Winterfell came in with a $9.99. Says Titanic said F around and find out. Yeah, well, he certainly did. They did in a bad way. Tommy, thank you very much. Appreciate that. And Mercenary, thank you again for that. That's awesome. Once again, in the interest of, we got a few of these. I'm going to do my best to try to keep up with these. Ocean Gate reeks, wreck makes me think no body expired. It's so easy to fake since the implosion would liquefy anything, especially if they switch subs. Oh, Mercenary's got his tinfoil cap on. Norm says Pokemon Monsters Dungeon Blue was my first DS game. The DS is the GOAT of handheld consoles. All right, Norm, thank you very much. And Rebound says, I've seen the Byford Dolphin incident aftermath. I knew right off the bat what happened to those poor, I guess, sods in the Ocean Gate sub. Thank you, Rebound. Appreciate that. I'm not familiar with the Byford Dolphin incident. Have you ever heard of that before, Mally? Okay. And Tommy, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Space is just full screen Mally the whole show. Just shut up. You don't like my smile? Okay. All right. And Blad's pulling up. This is the Byford. Here's the, by the way, top tier video game news here. I understand it. Here's the Byford Dolphin incident here. Thank you, Blabs, for pulling this up. Was a semi-submersible column stabilizing drilling rig operated by Dolphin Drilling. It drilled seasonally for various seasons. The rig was the site of several incidents, most notably an explosive decompression in 1983 that killed 4 divers. Oh, okay. So it pretty much did the same thing. Yoinks. Thank you for that, Blabs. Okay. Hey, let's move on. So I watched The Office. I really enjoyed The Office. To me, it was a show that me and my wife watched. We giggled at it. And they've said over and over again, The Office in America couldn't be made today. It couldn't be made today. It was too insensitive. Well, guess what? They're remaking it in Australia. And when this was announced, it was like, yikes. We'll see what happens. Australia is known for all sorts of radical thinking. And we have the first trailer for it. Mally, have you seen this trailer?
I have not. I'm excited.
Okay, well, let's temper that excitement a little bit. Here we go.
Because it's going to be so bad.
This is releasing October 18th internationally on Prime Video. This is the Australian trailer for The Office. Mally, at any time, you just
We're already off to a great start with the still images.
You just tell me when you're ready for me to stop and start, and here we are.
Okay. Yeah, I had to get through the first Office in pieces. I know this is going to be the same way. All right.
All right, here we go.
Big announcement. Can I have a drum roll, please? A drum roll, Lloyd.
That's how I drum roll.
People ask me, how can I become a great boss? And the answer is having a happy staff that love you.
This is a proper HR nightmare.
Just to be clear, I'm trying to figure out who the characters are here. I'm pretty sure this is Jim right here.
Oh.
Is this Jim?
That was Toby.
Maybe it is. I
I thought he
know.
said it's an HR nightmare, so I thought it was Toby.
He did, possibly. And,
Okay.
Okay, maybe, who knows? We'll see. Let's continue on.
HR nightmare.
As of today, we are all back in the office full time. What?
That's not good news.
By the way, I'm guessing that's reference to COVID.
I was literally just about to say, are they incorporating that into the show?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Gosh.
Which won't age it at all, by the way. Just want to point that out. It's going to be clear as day. It won't age it. It's ridiculous. No. By the way, Mally, I have seen this. And as we go along, I would love for you to see how many current day or virtue signaling things happen throughout this. Okay. So just keep an eye. Yeah, please do. Here we go.
I'm promoting you to productivity manager.
Yes, sir. Do I want to support the vision of my brother?
All right, so I already have 2. I'm like counting.
I'm sorry. I know
obviously Dwight and Michael are female now, so we had to We had to gender swap them, of course, because it would be, we have to fight the patriarchy.
Is this Dwight character? Are they them? Because I bet they're non-binary. I bet they're non-binary in the show, or they flip genders or whatever. I bet
you're right. Ugh.
All right, let's continue.
Yes, sir. Do I want to support the vision of my branch manager at all costs?
Is this the dark web?
No, it's not the dark web. You said Lizzie?
Okay.
The perks of coming to work: riling up Lizzie, flirting, watching Nick rile up Lizzie.
What's his name?
My crow's name is...
Hold on. Sorry.
That looks like the Jim and Pam situation then.
Yes, I think this is Jim. Because he said riling up Lizzie. Lizzie is the new Dwight. So hold on. Is this Pam?
Wait, and is he wearing a shirt of
with Lizzie
the Dwight character? That okay. I am very lost.
Yeah, okay, all right. Okay, sorry. We'll just continue.
Watching Nick rile up Lizzie.
What's his name?
My crow's name is Russell.
Hello, Rusty. How are you, mate?
Nick, no.
We lost one of our own last week.
Brian died.
We were so close. He's always in my heart.
Oh, is he the tall, sad one?
Yeah.
No, he was the short and smiley one.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
What nationality is he?
What sexual identity is he? Doesn't feel relevant, does it?
Hannah is a riddle swallowed by an idiot and shut out by a moron.
I saw your
I feel like I'm
literal
laughing
reaction.
because I'm uncomfortable and because it's so stupid that it's a little funny. Like, really bad movies, when they get that level of bad, you're like, it's so bad. It's that.
It took us 75 seconds to get a reference to sexual identity in this trailer, which is great. Oh, but we're not
It took
done.
longer than I thought.
We're not done. Here we go.
Those people are like family to me, and I won't let you throw them out on the street.
The daily commute is killing me.
Is someone sleeping in here?
Don't want everyone knowing about it. It's not a big deal. It's been 4 nights this week. It's nothing.
It's the race that stops the nation.
Giddy up.
It's a wake, but I want people to feel awake.
I don't want to be on the committee.
I understand that, but you're also the oldest and closest to the end, so I would really love your buy-in on this event, okay?
Okay, that's actually kind of funny.
I was literally, I was kind of thinking, wait, that one comment was funny. Her
Yeah.
comments, because they're unhinged like Michael's, are kind of inconsistently funny, but everyone else I don't really give a fuck about. I hardly give a fuck about her, but she talks so unhinged. I'm like, I'll give you an ear.
And well, let's continue.
If I die while I'm still working here, please don't let this happen.
Promoting women into positions of power. That's my mantra, really.
I've never heard you say that.
Oh, my back hurts from carrying all my sisters all the time. Ow.
Okay, well, I'll see you around.
Yeah, you definitely will, because I'll be at my desk all day.
Okay, well, I'll see you there.
You will for the next 9 hours.
By the way, just total side note. All gender toilets.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even see it. They had to get that in there. They got the female leads, they got the what's your sexual preference, and then they got the all gender toilets.
By the way, total side note. I just noticed your shirt, and I noticed my shirt. We got normal man and woman. Let's go. Let's
Nice.
go.
We're set up. We're normal.
No, that's good stuff. Well, just general thoughts on seeing the first 2 minutes and 12 seconds of The Office Australia.
I didn't think it could actually get cringier than the original, but it did.
Did you not like the American version or the
I did,
US
but it
version?
was like, oh gosh, it was one of those. It's so bad I can't look away. Like I got through all of it. Oh my gosh, I don't think I could get through a single episode in one sitting though. Like especially, and guys, don't come after me for spoilers. It's been out for over 10 years, so shut up. The wedding at the end, that I was losing my mind. I'm like, Michael is going to kill me. I couldn't get through the awkwardness. The social awkwardness actually kills me.
You know, it's funny because I thought The Office, the United States Office, was really funny up until Michael left. When Michael left, that's when the show took a deep deep dive
Yeah.
down and
Agreed.
really started to like. I think most people will agree with that.
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
actually pretty much stopped watching it after that, and so I only really think about the time Michael was there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because I think it was 2 seasons after that, and it really
Yeah.
kind of went downhill after that.
Yeah.
Norm came in and says, "Where's the funny? Do these people have the ability to have funny? Who thought these people could be funny? Why do they have a job in entertainment making comedies?"
It's true.
Yes. Thanks, Norm. Appreciate that. And Master Gawa says, "Too many movie critics lately. Why do they hate Home Alone so much that they have to go after the star of Home Alone 2? Make Home Alone great again."
True.
Thanks, Master Gawa. Appreciate that. So there we go. That is the trailer for The Office Australia.
Wow.
I bet that there's so many Office fans. It became such a cultural thing. I bet that the show is given a chance by a lot of people. But here's the problem. It has Australian humor in it. And I don't think that bodes very well for it'll be very current day, in that aspect of things. And I don't know. There's certain things that should just be left alone. And that's one of them right there. So
yeah, there's a lot of remakes that I
rough.
think that they could have gotten away with, but this just wasn't one of them. This was a little too niche, I feel like, to try to copy so verbatim too. Like, it's kind of a gross copy. If they were going to try to do an Office adjacent thing where it's another awkward comedy with all those camera zoom in, sure. But the fact that it's a replica, a bad replica.
Yeah. So chat, how many seasons will this get? Will this get renewed for a second just based off the Office name? Will it see an entirety of 8 seasons or whatever? We'll just see one. By the way, the conspiracy theory thrown out by Camelot that Australia is not a real place. I always have you heard that before?
I have not.
No, it's funny. I've been to Australia. I've seen it. I've eaten kangaroo before. It's not very good. So I can confirm that Australia is indeed a real place.
Oh gosh,
But,
that's an experience.
Yeah. By the way, kangaroo, not good. Not
What did
good.
it taste like?
It's very tough. Very tough. Not a whole lot of flavor. Dark meat. It's just stringy, if you will. It's on pizza.
Not meant to be eaten.
Yeah. Right. Worthy One says, "Hey, Craig, did you hear about wrestling fans on X roasting WWE for using Megan the Stallion song as the new official theme song for SmackDown? It's one of the funniest things I've seen." No, I've not, Worthy One. I've not seen that at all. And I saw the new logo for SmackDown. It looks very weird. Very weird. All right, let's go. Keep on moving on. Quick hit here, as Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be a very big game, quite possibly one of the biggest games ever made. And Take-Two, the developer behind it, has confirmed they are still targeting a fall 2025 release for Grand Theft Auto 6. Any thoughts on that, Mally?
No, I never actually got to play a ton of Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, GTA is really fun. It's like murder simulator.
It seems like it would be fun. I played games that were like inspired based off of it. So like I loved Simpsons Hit and Run, and I know that's very heavily, garnered from Grand Theft Auto. But yeah, my dad got a Grand Theft Auto game when I was really, really little for like a Dreamcast or PlayStation. And he brought it home, put it in the system, and my mom walked in and went, "You are not playing that with our daughter right there." And he took it out and he never played it. And so we never played GTA. So I don't know it, but maybe I should get into it now.
Well, GTA is it allows you to fulfill all your incredible fit. Like, to me, it's historically has been a very testosterone driven game. Or I guess the idea that you can go and do whatever you want, fulfill all your stupid fantasies, even if you don't have even if they're like dark fantasies, or you can go out and do stupid things, go up and punch somebody on the street. And, there's the idea that you can buy a hooker, screw the hooker, kill the hooker, take the money from the hooker,
Maybe I don't want to play this game.
No, GTA is amazing. It usually has a pretty good story, but we'll kind of see what's going on with it. Anyways, so fall 2025, I'm sure it'll kill. So
all
right. Okay, so we talked about GTA. I wonder if GTA will make it to the Switch 2. So this has been put out. We saw this a couple days ago, and this has been flushed out a little bit more. There's a big thread on Reddit right now that is more or less putting all sorts of rumors around the Switch in place. And there's also imagery we have behind this. So this is according to a rumor. They're making right now that it is in production. They're making about 1,000 units per day per worker, not the whole line. So they're really going through and just pumping these bad boys out. It's slightly larger than the Switch 1, and it's going to be called the Switch 2 and have a Switch 2 on the side of it. Now, some more came out about it as far as the actual specs of it. And, look, this is all, if you want to get super nerdy on it, I'm not a super nerdy guy when it comes to this, but apparently it is going to be called the Switch 2, which I think makes a lot of sense. And if you scroll down, we see the imagery of what this potentially should look like. This looks an awful lot like the Switch 1, but Mally, your first initial impressions seeing these mock-ups of what the Switch 2 will look like.
Yeah, it doesn't look different enough off the bat. I get that they're trying to make it look a little sleeker because mine feels a little clunky and it feels like maybe the pieces fit together a little bit better, like the Joy-Cons to the actual display. But in general, yeah, so like maybe it looks a little wider or something, but it just looks like one of those insert your phone in the middle of it looks like the other Switch. It doesn't look different. We've seen this.
Well, that last, we saw a couple images right there that actually kind of look interesting, and people say, "Oh, it's fake," but hey, whether it's fake or not, we can still talk about it. This is interesting right here, this dual screen aspect of it, because this is if you have a top screen and a bottom screen, maybe you can play your DS games, right?
Is that what that is? Oh, okay.
I'm guessing. Yeah, I'm guessing.
I like that because I was a huge fan of the DS. I've regretted selling my DS when I was younger, because now I like totally miss a lot of those games and stuff. But yeah, that'd be sick.
I think that's probably would be the biggest addition to it. We've seen games. We saw a few Castlevania games being released. They had the Castlevania collection a few weeks ago, where they had DS games on that you could play on your Switch screen, but you could mess with the screen orientation on it. I think it'd be really cool to have a big ass Switch and be able to play those games that way. And you could actually develop games where you have your map up at all times on the bottom, just like you would on your DS, but just on a Switch now. And I think it's pretty fun. So there have been rumors about the price of this, Mally, being between $400 and $500. Your thoughts on that?
I feel like that's a bit steep considering that I paid $500 for my PlayStation 5 and I paid $300 for my Switch 1. So if I'm going to get a Switch 2, it better be $350 maybe at most, but you're not really going to get much more when you're still creating a portable device, which will inherently be weaker. And, then my PS5 can play Sea of Thieves. It can play Hogwarts Legacy. My Switch couldn't handle any of that. It can barely handle Dreamlight Valley when I transfer worlds too quickly. So I'm not exactly enticed all that by it. The only thing that's enticing, like you said, is the DS part of it. That would be cool because then that would unlock so many more games. But that price point, that'd have to be fixed.
I'll say this. I think that if they go with this look, if this truly is the look of what they're going with for the Switch 2, I think that they have to call it the Switch 2 and not just the Super Switch or whatever it may be, because obviously the numerical aspect of it, it's like the PlayStation 3, 4, whatever, and you wonder if they're going to be going in on the idea of, like, the Switch is our brand moving forward, right? Will there be a Switch 3, Switch 4, Switch 5? The idea of docking your console and being able to pull it off and it's still a handheld. If Nintendo's going on, because this is the first time they'll have numbered a console, because they had the Nintendo, then they had the Super Nintendo, right? And the visual look of those was drastically different from each other. The Super Nintendo was a top loader. The original NES was, you popped it in. So I don't know. This is really interesting. I think it does need to be named the Switch 2 in this instance for sure, because it doesn't look enough, as you said. It doesn't look different enough to really. I think I always go back to, like, what will moms buy this for their kids for birthday, right? Mm-hmm. And if it looks too much the same, I don't know, that's an area, that's a barrier of entry right there. You know,
I like that perspective. That's a really good way to like, you know, figure out if people are going to buy it, if it's going to be a good consumed thing, because that is exactly how it went with me. I remember I had a regular little pink rose gold pink DS when I was like 10, and then the DS XL, that's what it was. The XL came out and I was like, oh, bigger screen, I want it. And so I was like, mom, XL. And she's like, you have one, it's fine. Is it just bigger? Is that it? It's just bigger. And I'm like,
Right.
yeah, it's bigger. Like I'm over here like, yeah, that's the whole point. And she's like, no. And it's like, you gotta pull out the bells and whistles to get the money, guys.
right. And bigger screen is not enough. Not enough for sure. Well, I guess we'll find out more information about that. They're still saying they're targeting 2025 for the release of this thing. And, you know, originally it was late 2024, then it's early 2025. And I think it just continues to pop out. But if they're producing, you know, per person on the manufacturing, 1,000 units per day, which seems, by the way, stupid, like the amount that you could produce 1,000 units of a Switch per person per day. That's mind-boggling to me.
Yeah.
But it's also China. So, you know, they work a little different over there. We'll see when they announce this, and I'm sure it'll be great and people will be really excited about it. But I do think that the dual screen could be a game changer along the way. Cody came in and says, Craig, did you play any games of Knifey Spoon when you visit Australia? That sounds familiar, but no, I did not play any Knifey Spoon. Why is that? Why does Knifey Spoon sound familiar? Anyways, Crass came in and says, I'm late this morning. I'm old and have had long hair since the late 80s. And I'm sitting here jealous of that kiddo's hair. Also, great show. Jealous of Mally's hair? Certainly not mine. Thanks, Crass. Appreciate that. Good stuff. And Master Gawa says, we forget that the gaming devil was one of the first gaming consultants, and she selfies at game studios trying to influence feminized devs before SBI. Yes, we're going to get into that in about 2 minutes. And Norm came in and says, they're missing the opportunity to call it the Super Switch Cube 64 Wii Entertainment GameCube System DSU. It's a shame you might miss out on a name like that. Appreciate
truthfully,
that.
yeah.
All right, let's move on. Okay. So I'm gonna tell you this right now. This was rough. This was rough to see the other day. I got a notification that Anita Sarkeesian is looking for work in the video game space. Now, I want to preface this. I think it's important to kind of fill everybody in on who Anita Sarkeesian is. I describe her as patient zero. I describe her as the gaming devil, because I think that everything that is happening in the video game space right now can go back to more or less her getting involved in the video game space. When people describe a grifter, they are describing Anita Sarkeesian. They're describing somebody who doesn't love the medium, who found an opportunity to inject themselves into said medium and ultimately profit off that medium. That is what Anita Sarkeesian has done. I found a video from 10 years ago. It only has 3,000 views over on YouTube. But I wanted to play this video as a little bit of a backdrop for you, Mally, so you can learn a little bit more about Anita Sarkeesian. Now, she, before we kind of even start this video, she had a video series called Feminist Frequency. And she is a feminist media critic who made a series of educational videos about the portrayal of women in video games called Tropes versus Women in Video Games. And it was all about, you know, the lady who, you know, it's about the princess in Mario and how she's being saved by Mario and how it's problematic. And these women are more empowered. You know, it's the classic whammon type thing, right? Now, she was interviewed about the project, and she often talks about how she's a gamer herself and she's motivated to do what she does because just how much she loves video games. In fact, here is footage of her saying just that.
5 years old. This is a photo of me at age 10 playing Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo. So I've been playing games for quite a while. And in addition to being a lot of fun to play, games have lots of positive benefits as well. So again, I've been playing games for a while.
So here we go. As it says, however, recent analysis from some of her university lectures suggests this isn't the case. Now, when it says recent, this video is from a decade ago, right? So people were able to snuff this out pretty quick. The following clips were taken from a lecture Anita gave at Santa Monica College in California back in early 2010. Now, the clips we just watched were from 2012, so 2 years prior. She gave this lecture that we're going to watch here. So here we go.
I'm going to show you a remix that I just finished this weekend and no one else has seen. One person has seen it. It's a soundtrack of one song, except I'm doing video games. So it's not exactly a fandom. I'm not a fan of video games. I actually had to learn a lot about video games in the process of making this. To me, the song is positive just because I've only contextualized it in a way to critique male domination in our media. And also video games, like I would love to play video games, but I don't want to go around shooting people and ripping off their heads, and it's just gross. So hence this is my response to that.
Video games are so interesting and engaging and interactive. I'm a gamer and I enjoy games. I love games. I'm a fan of games.
I'm not a fan of video games. I would love to play video games, but I don't want to go around shooting people and ripping off their heads, and it's just gross.
So
interesting double back, Kamala.
Right, right. So she had this Kickstarter. It raised hundreds of thousands of dollars. She has worked with a number of different companies along the way, and after many, many years, Feminist Frequency actually went out of business. It was one of those things that it was very controversial for its time. And back in 2024 here, this year, they closed their doors after 15 years of operation. So because guess what? They weren't needed. And this was the big thing. Games and online harassment hotline, right? They had this hotline that you could go, and gameshotline.org. And they were going to help people who were being harassed playing video games. Well, guess what? She's back.
What?
She's back at it again.
I don't understand what the concept of that is. What am is somebody going to call me a bitch in the middle of a match and then I call them? Is that the point?
Correct. That is the idea. You get support by texting them or going to gameshotline.org.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I mean, when you look at their games and online harassment hotline, the games hotline is closed in October 2023. But they had the hate raid resource, the responding to blackmail digital safety guide, where to get help. Well, you can't get help anymore because it's shut down. So that's a shame. But
the most pointless thing in existence shut down. Oh, woe is me.
So she's back at it. And she had a post on her Instagram page just yesterday saying she's looking for work. And if you'd like to book her, she offers inclusive video game design support services. And you can see some of her clients along the way. Double Fine and Devolver, Ubisoft. I'd like to point out Ubisoft currently seeing some issues along the way. And she says, with a decade of experience as a feminist media critic and the founder of a nonprofit dedicated to inclusive representation in video games and pop culture, I've consulted on numerous projects of all sizes and AAA titles to small indie games. My team and I are focused on representation issues such as gender, race, sexuality, ability, class, and more by examining art, scripts, and gameplay. We provide developers with a detailed report to equip them with as much information as possible to make informed choices about their games. Now, you may be asking yourself, that sounds familiar. Mally, are you familiar with the company Sweet Baby Inc.?
I was going to say, yeah, that sounds like a Sweet Baby Inc. special or even a Dylan Mulvaney special. Sounded like anything she touches, she'll just...
Yes. Now, if you go back to it, this is exactly, when you look at the Sweet Baby Inc. website, pretty much exactly what it is here. Our mission is to tell better, more empathetic stories while diversifying and enriching the video game industry. We aim to make games more engaging, more fun, more meaningful, and more inclusive for everyone.
No. They were more fun without them.
Right. I think that I honestly feel that she's seen what's happened with Sweet Baby Inc. and these other consultancy firms, and she sees a market. She sees the market for this, and I think this is her stepping back into that market.
For sure. For sure. She has hope now.
Right. She has hope for the first time. Yes. Correct, James. You are 100% correct. Now, you can see her consultancy approach is listed on her website. It says her approach is direct, honest, and non-judgmental. The goal is to elevate your project and provide essential education. Essential education provided by Anita Sarkeesian. Just want to point that out. Holistic integration. By the way, all this is done on like just some. I know this website builder that she used. It's insane. Identify common design pitfalls. Solution. Crafting complex, authentic characters. Yeah, that's good. Adapt. Modernizing historical problematic content. Right there. Nailed it right there. Appeal to a broader audience. There it is right there. I go back to something that Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers says all the time. If your audience is for everybody, it's for nobody. And I feel like that's a very, very core statement. How it works. I can begin engagement with you at any point in your development cycle. I've worked with clients long-term throughout the production while spot checking work along the way. I also provided reviews closer to the end of production to give developers confidence in their shipped game while helping them prepare for any post-launch concerns that would arise. Your project is unique, and so is my approach. I tailor our guidance to your needs, whether it's brainstorming, script reviews, or team presentations. Contact me today to create media that truly connects. I'm going to tell you this right now. I will be contacting Anita Sarkeesian. And I will be curious if she can help us reach a broader audience here on Side Scrollers, because I think that's really important. And I think that these are important things. If she's offering up consultancy fees and consultancy, I will gladly see what she's offering and how much it's for. And I want to learn more. I think you got to put your hand on the, you got to really dig in and feel the dirt. And when it comes to doing a little research on this, and I think that if Anita can go in and help expand our knowledge and expand our audience, hey, why not? Let's just give it a go and see what happens.
Hey, maybe sprinkle a little bit of DEI in there. It'll all be good.
That's right. Jesus Christ. No, I'm not actually going to do that, guys. I'm just throwing it out there. You guys are like, no.
The chat was mad.
Right. No, I'm not actually going to reach out to Anita Sarkeesian. I think the only thing I would do is I would have her on the show and be like, what the fuck are you thinking?
Hi, welcome. What the fuck?
I'm sorry. You are the epitome of grifter, the epitome of it. The idea, you know what it reminds me of? God dang, it's so funny. There was a clip from this show called, what was that stupid show called? I think it was called Community. And it has this lady who's like, money, please. Have you ever seen?
Oh my gosh, I was thinking of that exact line. Yes.
Right. That's exactly what it's like. And that is Anita Sarkeesian. If somebody could please take this clip right here and put Anita Sarkeesian in it right here. Just brilliant.
That's her.
Please.
Oh, no, there's no money.
Oh, my bad. No problem.
Oh, okay.
That's fine. I'll just destroy this office.
Oh, hey!
Money, please.
Oh my God. That's Anita Sarkeesian right there. And there you go. I don't even understand. Jake is right. Yeah, it is odd. She kind of resurfaced a little bit every single time. It's good. Yeah, Parks and Recs over at the office all day long. Thanks, Super Sentai guy. It says, cue the Elon Musk quote for Sarkeesian, please. I haven't seen this, Mercenary. Please fill me in. And thank you, Jake, for your re-membership. Appreciate that. So there you go. Anita Sarkeesian back in the gaming space. She sees the opportunity and she definitely has her money in her hand out. Ready for that. So just absolutely insane. Nathan says, for perspective, Anita is the only reason we got anything like Bully Hunters or Sweet Baby Inc. and was laying the groundwork back in 2012. The irony is even the gamers that agree with her critique hate her. Yes, as I said, she is patient zero when it comes to all this, and it's a lot. And she needs to be rejected. But you know what? The reality is that there will be a company that hires her, and it'll probably be Ubisoft. Save our company, save us, please. And ultimately, it'll lead to failure. So, fuck you, Anita. I don't know you, but fuck you. How's that smile for you?
I second that.
There we go. Thank you for destroying our hobby. Appreciate that. All right. Mercenary, thank you very much. Appreciate you. Master Gawa says Jim Sterling disagrees with you about Anita. Dude said she wasn't out to ruin our games 2013, SGC 2013. Look what kissing her rear transformed him into. Master Gawa, I don't even want to get into the Jim Sterling shit. Are you familiar with Jim Sterling?
No.
Jim Sterling is a video game reviewer who at one time looked like this right here. And I bet I can simply, and now Jim Sterling looks like this.
Okay, now I understand.
Yeah. And to be clear, I've never had any issues with Jim at all. But I guess Jim's not really Jim anymore, is Jim?
No.
I don't know.
No, so I guess you can say you don't have any issues with Jim. Jim just doesn't exist anymore.
Right. Just as tell you to go fuck yourself like you did DSP. Well, yeah, absolutely. I just did. Absolutely. Thank you, Mercenary. And Super Sentai Guy. That's right. Money, please. We should probably make that a reoccurring thing on the show for sure.
Needed. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Oh, thank you, Blabs. Appreciate it. Sorry on the back end. All right. We have this. This story is just balls crazy, Mally. I'm shocked by this. Now, we've talked about Ubisoft many times on this show. It is a reoccurring. It's the best company in the world. Best company in the world. They're so great. So great, in fact, that they've had 3 mega bombs this year. They're going to have a 4th one with Assassin's Creed Shadows on the way. And their stock is not doing well. And a lot of people have had a lot of commentary about this. But there is a YouTube creator who is actually a developer as well in the video game space, who put together about 1 minute and 55 seconds of exactly what is happening and articulated it wonderfully. So let's start with this video here, as this guy just destroyed Ubisoft in the best and most professional manner. And then we'll get to the second half of this story. So here's what he said.
It has been revealed recently that for game development, Ubisoft hired diversity activists as consultants with a focus on challenging moral standards. Ubisoft is offering mentorship programs while excluding individuals based on their gender. I ask you, what is fun about challenging moral standards? How does that translate into a good gaming experience? Star Wars Outlaws from Ubisoft has launched as an abject, catastrophic failure. Even the most basic mechanical aspects of the product are incompetently implemented. One might wonder how a company with millions of dollars of funding can produce something lacking in even the most basic level of competence. We are no longer living in an era where multi-million-dollar companies hold all the power. The everyday gamer now has the power to rise up against tyrants and incompetence. Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed Shadows will fail on launch. The entirety of the gaming industry has indicated that there is absolutely no confidence in Ubisoft to produce a competent product. So let's see what we can learn from Ubisoft's failures. Instead of hiring game developers, artists, and writers who have natural talent and skill that has been refined and cultivated from years of hard work, companies are funding and hiring based on skin color and sexual identity and politics. These are the people who made Star Wars Outlaws. These are the people who made Assassin's Creed Shadows. Companies do not make video games. Money does not make video games. People make video games. Awful people make awful video games, and awful video games will not earn your company meaningful revenue.
Bravo. Bravo. Craig, you're muted.
I'm just talking to myself now. I don't know who this guy is. I've seen him passed around a few times, like his channel and such, but he nails it. Nails it in the best way, right? And I think he's very calm, he's collected, he's very measured in his approach. Obviously professionalism in his approach, his setup, his look. He's not yelling, he's not screaming, he's just telling you what's happening, why these things are failing, right?
Yeah, couldn't have said it better myself. He nailed it.
Nailed it. If a minute and 55 seconds of a master class of exactly what's going on here. So naturally, that pissed people off. And we are at a situation now where this gentleman, he has a studio called Sungrand Studios over on X. He's like I said, he's like an indie dev. He makes games for mobile and PC and Nintendo consoles, and he makes very niche games. And it's a passion for him, right? But he's in the space. He's developed, and he's the CEO of his own company. Well, let's fast forward a little bit to just recently. Apparently, this guy's a pretty good dude as well. He goes to a hospital that is built around combating cancer, right? And he goes and he plays an instrument for people, and he just builds them up. He's not paid to do this. He volunteers to do this. He goes out and plays his instrument to brighten up the mood in the hospital. I mean, you're dealing with people who are they're looking at the finish line, right? And music is a great unifier. It brings people together. It lifts people's spirits. And this guy volunteers to do this. Well, not anymore, because he was kicked out of volunteering at the cancer hospital because of his views, because he came out and he said these type of things. The idea that why video games are failing because of the woke audience along the way. And this is the response. You can't even volunteer in this situation like this. And I think the comment section here really nails it here, as it says they would rather see people get substantially lesser help, if not suffer more, than to invite somebody who's not a part of their cause, aka club, such a typical corrupt elite politician mindset.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking too. It's disgusting where their priorities are.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Woke people would rather see cancer patients die, than let a doctor with their views help treat cancer. They don't care about helping people. They just want people to pander to their delusions along the way.
And even though he wasn't a doctor, he was a volunteer offering them a little bit more comfort in what could have been a lot of their final days, and they're like, nope, you're not even allowed to bring your free volunteer time, energy, instrument. You're not allowed to offer comfort to these people because we don't like your opinions. How vile.
I don't understand how anybody can look at this if they look at them and be like, that's a good decision. Yeah, I'm glad we got him. And be like, we're the good guys.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
those are the same people that are hoping that our former president gets hit one of these days. Those are the same people that want to say that it's an act of violence against them when you call them the wrong name. Same people, guys. Same group.
I am fascinated. And it's so sad to see, like, once again, zoom out a little bit. Zoom out, right? They don't want him going to the hospital to help encourage people and play music because his opinions on video games, on fucking video games. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, it's not even like this is some kind of like real life thing of like, oh, he believes in murder, or no, it's nothing tangible. It's nothing that could actually scare anyone. Even then, it's like, well, opinions, as long as you're not hurting someone. No, it's not even that. It's video games. How pathetic.
Pointed out here by Ace, says, fun fact, Gerald, this person right here, made the last ever games for the Wii U and 3DS before the eShop shut down. Interesting.
That's cool. cool.
Yeah, that is cool. That's a fun fact. And you know what that tells me? He wasn't looking for a major audience. Like, if you're making the last game on something, you're not looking at a major audience because everyone's moved on to the next thing along the way. So, oh my gosh, what a sad. I hope we can get this guy on the show. I would love to see. Love to see what he says. His description of the video says, "The woke people kicked me out of volunteering at a cancer hospital because I refused to bend the knee and submit to their will. Here's why I'm creating industry speeches to speak out against the destructive cultural movement. Neo-feminism needs to stop before it causes any more further damage." Man, we need to get this guy on the show. Blabs, I know you're in the background there. See if we can find Sungrand Studios, the YouTube channel, and let's get this guy on. I would love to. I know he has no interest in being a part of all this, but he's played a very big part in exposing people. Because I go back to this, like, nobody can look at this and be like, yeah, that's right. We're the good guys here. It goes back to the idea of limiting free speech. Nobody ever that tried to limit free speech was labeled the good guy in history ever. Oh my God, fucking cult. So everyone go and follow Sungrand Studios over on X and give them some support over there. Thank you, Mercenary. Appreciate that. Yes, they do want us all gone. It's insane. All speaking of support, Mark of Reality has come in with a $50 super chat. Blabs, there you go. There's Blabs. Says, thank you very, very, very much for telling Anita Sarkeesian. Go fuck yourself. Right. Hey, Mark, thank you very much for that. Look at that. Look at that. Let's get you up on the wall, my friend. Really appreciate that. That is spectacular. Blabs doing her job behind the scenes. If you're just popping in, Blabs is sick, but she's still hanging with us behind the scenes, which is great. So, Desiree, the wonderful Desiree, came in and says, apparently St. Jude Research Hospital was behind not wanting me at the GCX convention and had this history with other streamers and weren't pro-woke. Wait, so St. Jude was the one behind it, Desiree? It wasn't the convention, it was St. Jude? Oh, Desiree's story is insane. Let me put Mark of Reality on the wall real quick. And so, Mally, Desiree's story, and I don't expect everybody to know everybody's story about everything, but Desiree's story was she's a phenomenal pianist, whatever, right? And she would go to these events and she would perform at these events. And this event in Florida, which was originally it was a Destiny event, but it kind of switched over to a larger gaming event. She was uninvited from going to the event after, I believe, Desiree, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe you followed an account or you responded to an account on Twitter? And it was just a mess. So they de-invited her pretty much because she stood up against the insanity. So it was just what a joke. GXC said that St. Jude didn't want me. I was never sure if it was them or GXC, but I know St. Jude had issues with other streamers that held charity streams that weren't pro-woke.
Wow.
Yeah. So what a mess. What an absolute mess.
That's disgusting. I have absolutely no qualms with outing companies who prioritize their wokeness over good people. And I've discussed multiple other companies that I used to collaborate with that I will never work with again or buy any merchandise from because they were disgusting to me.
Yep. Cool. All right. So we only got about 10 minutes left with you, Mally. So I want to make sure we get to our other story here along the way. And that is, well, hold on. We have an intro for this because we talk about Mr. Beast so much. Oh my God, where are you? There you are. There's
a whole intro.
That's right.
I'm ready. I brought to the moment, scoped in. Let's go.
We've seen a lot of controversy for Mr. Beast over the last several months, and it is starting to crumble down, Mally. As of last night, a lawsuit has been filed. Mr. Beast is being sued. Have you heard about this?
No.
Okay. So Mr. Beast and Amazon are being sued after being accused of failing to pay minimum wages and overtime, failing to prevent sexual harassment, and participants of their Amazon show weren't provided uninterrupted meal breaks and rest breaks. There's more to it along the way. There's a full story popped in here. Chronic mistreatment. This is from Variety.com as well. So if it's hit Variety, it's hit mainstream. It's 5 unnamed participants seeking a class action, a lawsuit against him. This will definitely be settled out of court. There's no way that either Amazon or Mr. Beast wants this going to court for discovery purposes along the way. But this is not the first time we've seen Mr. Beast in trouble over the last several months, whether it's been the Chris Tyson shit or this, the various allegations put together by Dogpack 404. And now we see this as there's been ongoing rumble when it comes to the characters or the participants of the game shows on Amazon. I don't know, your initial thoughts when you see this.
I just to kind of add to what you said, I saw somebody in the chat brought it up, and I have to agree with them. Rosanna Pansino, who's a YouTuber that I watched for years, a baker. I loved her. I don't watch her much nowadays, but I've been seeing her a lot on X, is my point of bringing her up. She has been a playing factor in the Mr. Beast exposure, because I believe, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, she was invited to participate in a Mr. Beast games, one of his videos, and it was completely rigged and fucked from what it sounds like. And she has uncovered all of that stuff. My initial reaction to this is honestly not surprised at all, because I've been hearing people talk about this so much. It is a long overdue lawsuit, but I think you nailed it on the head that no matter how many people or how much time this built up to, they are never going to let it get to court, because Amazon and Mr. Beast have enough money to pay anyone off.
Right. I think that's the bigger issue here, is the idea that the other day, speaking of that, there was the guy that was really sketchy who came out and was like, Mr. Beast treated me poorly in this video. And then Mr. Beast gave him like $200,000 and it all went away. Right. Yeah. And it's like, oh, okay, here's $200K. Like here's a life-changing amount of money, by the way. And here you go. Yeah. Which this is very Mr. Beast, when it comes to all this. So
he needs to maintain that image that all the parents and the kids have of him, where it's like, oh, it's just that guy that does those fun videos. Y'all, how did you not look at his videos and think something is wrong? I'm sorry, but I have never watched Mr. Beast's videos for fun, because they look a little weird. They look like too good to be true kind of thing. It's like, oh, you have a big team and a lot of people and you do a lot of, something's weird. No one else is doing what you're doing. Yeah, I gotta add that too. Scripted for 10-year-olds as well.
Actually, we talked. Oh, did I lose you? Okay, there we go. Am I
Are we
back?
back?
Are we good?
All right.
Need a little edit there. Yesterday, Mr. Beast announced Lunchly with Jake Paul and KSI. Did you see this announcement?
Oh no.
So they announced an alternative to Lunchables yesterday, where it features a bottle of Prime, Feastables chocolate, and some type of food in it. And it's very generic, and they have been raked over the coals along the way. It says YouTubers are not happy with Mr. Beast, KSI, and Logan Paul's new product. And Mr. Beast actually responded to this. It says Lunchables sells hundreds of millions of units. By the way, you shouldn't be calling food units. It's just really weird to me. Hundreds of millions of units, and countless people eat it. Our goal is to give people a better for you alternative to it. Our turkey meal, for example, is 80 less calories, 60% less sugar, more electrolytes. We use real cheese. They use quote cheese product. They can't call it cheese. Higher quality meats, etc. Obviously, eating fresh chicken and broccoli is healthier. But if someone is going to eat a pre-made meal like this, which millions of people do through Lunchables, then I think giving them a higher quality version at roughly the same price is a net good, in my opinion. And why we launched Lunchly. Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly why. Also, get economics on scale and can get things cheaper. We can only improve the product more and more, right? And he's got his shills who are going to go after and say like, oh, everything Mr. Beast is doing is the best. But one of those people is Dan TDM, a longtime YouTuber, and he actually put this tweet out. here said, man, what happened to YouTubers, man? I can't not say anything anymore. This is selling stuff for the sake of making money. Simple. How does this benefit their fans? This is selling crap to kids who don't know better than to trust people who are selling it to them. Do better.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that wholeheartedly. Someone in the chat also said, why do they gotta keep selling to kids? I agree, dude. Y'all are grown-ass adults who are spending millions of dollars every day in your life. Why do you not make your target audience a little bit more relatable to yourself? But you instead maintain this angle towards children. Like, oh, we want to feed kids. We want to give kids energy drink. Kids don't need your food. They need, like you said, of course it would be better broccoli and thing. Why would you not want to go the angle of like one of those, oh gosh, there's so many of them, the services where they deliver the like meal kits to your doors? Why is that not the angle you'd want to go at when you have millions of dollars and the ability to make something like that plausible? You want kids to eat full-fledged meals, give them that. But instead you want to do a lunchly. This guy that you just brought up nailed it, saying this is only to make money. Because that's exactly what Feastables was. That's exactly what Prime was. I've never picked up a Feastables or a Prime. Those don't appeal to me. Those are not for me. I'm not the audience. However, all of my students back in the day, they did.
Right. And there is a lot of irony here when Mr. Beast is responding to this, but not Chris Tyson along the way. Thank you, Space, for that. But the response to this from Dan TDM came in from Logan Paul, one of the people responsible for this. He says, I'll tell you what happened to YouTubers. We spent our lives creating content and building our brands. Now we want to build businesses. We don't say anything when Lunchables faces ban for allegedly containing lead, but when we create a better version, you're upset, then don't eat it. And
he's right. I hate to agree with it, but he's right. It's capitalism. Don't like it, don't eat it. I'll make sure my kids never buy it.
Well, I'll say this. What's really interesting about this is he did get community noted down here as well. He says Prime Hydration LLC was filed against at for including at least three separate occasions, with the third being like it included lead on three different occasions. So
wow,
Prime's drink actually had lead in it.
Wow.
So pretty
big
interesting.
talk, YouTube man.
Yes, yeah, right. Now, I did a quick search here about each one of these three gentlemen, KSI, Logan Paul, and Mr. Beast. Guess how many of them have children? 0.
None.
That's right. Now, Logan Paul does have his first child on the way. I'd be curious if he'd be interested in feeding his child Lunchly, or feeding them Prime, or feeding them chocolate on a day-to-day basis. The answer probably is not. More feedback over here, as it says they always promote it as it's healthy, right? Why not teach kids healthy eating habits? They're comparing their product to Lunchables, which in itself is highly processed crap. None of them are passionate about health towards fans, only their wallets. So disappointing.
No, that is such a good point. Like when you compare yourself to them and say, well, we're better. Well, why are you starting at the bottom? Like, why would you, like I suggested a minute ago, why would you not partner with a delivery service or create a delivery service that brings prepackaged, ready-to-go meal kits to your home? Because no, not a lot of people can, go out or at the time to have groceries, whatever. There's a lot of excuses for it. Make that easier for people so they can access better food instead of making this shit, because you want to make money. You don't want to feed kids.
Right. And the response to that is like, I said something along the lines of, no, you want to make as much money as possible. And people go, well, like, a business wants to make money. It's like, yeah, I get it. Businesses want to make money. Side Scrollers wants to make money. Mally wants to make money. Businesses want to make money. I'm all about capitalism. But your audience are 8-year-olds. They are very malleable, right? Know your audience. To me, it's shitty behavior. Yeah. And that's the biggest thing.
It's very flip-floppy. It is, because they always want to say, well, you just want to make money. Well, yeah. If you want anything that I have, then yes, I have to continue making money. But there's a reason that we offer unique things from our channels or our businesses or our products, whatever it is. There's got to be a draw. We have to want it as much as they want our money.
I was fascinated by the way that this was presented as well, specifically on Dexerto. It said it'll feature, this is their setup, Lunchly. It'll feature Prime, Feastables chocolate, and a variation of food. And because like my favorite thing about this was the idea that they just have, quote, the pizza in it. It's like, if it's just a mess. The whole thing is just a mess. And it's a very, I mean, the branding's great, right? But I think the launch will be rejected to half court or not. I don't know. Maybe kids are going to.
They picked all of the idols for little kids. You know, they picked,
Right.
oh, wait, we love Mr. Beast. Oh, we love the Paul videos. Oh, we love, Kai, because Kai's part of KSI and stuff like that. We love these streamers. It just would have been better if they had like Sketch in on it or something. Get all the names, and then you'll really sell the kids. Because I guess what they're banking on is the fact that the kid will be able to wear down the mom to be like, please, mom, I have to have this. I have to have this. Mr. Beast made it. Okay, fine. But hopefully, at least from what the corner of the internet that I've been spending time in recently, a lot of people aren't just down for that mentality anymore. A lot of people are like looking at what's in stuff, and they're looking at how the government's poisoning them, and like they're fed up. So this might have been a bad time for them.
The ingredients in it are not good. It's all over processed bullshit. And you can say, well, this has less calories, but it's like, it's still going to give you cancer. Like they're feeding their kids cancer. Congratulations, So
yeah. All
right, Mally, I know you got to go, but thank you for hanging out with me for about an hour and a half. Appreciate you as always. You want to tell everybody where they can find you?
Yeah, no, and thank you guys for having me. I always love coming on Side Scrollers. But if you guys like my stuff, I will actually be going live soon on Rumble. I go live every Wednesday at noon for some Let's Yap About It stuff. So we're going to be yapping about all kinds of crazy shit just like this, but all the ones I picked out. And then if you like more of my fun stuff, you can follow me on Instagram or TikTok or Locals. I just made a Locals page. So if you guys want to check out more opinionated content from me that is completely unfiltered and just raw opinions, you can go over to Locals and check that out. And then you brought up the shirt earlier. I just want to say I love Red Pill Threads, so if you guys go over there, you can use code mouse for 10% off.
Let's go. Nice. Love it. Cool. Great stuff. Well, appreciate you, Mally, as always. We'll see you here in a couple weeks. Okay.
Awesome. Thanks for traumatizing me again.
All right. See you, Mally.
Bye, guys.
You guys go check out Mally's channel, obviously, down below. Once again, Blabs is sick today, so guess what? You got me for the next couple minutes to finish it up. So stay with me, boys. We're going to be good. Appreciate y'all's support today. We got a lot. Speaking of locals, you can head over to our locals page at sidescrollerspodcast.com. By the way, people like don't know what it looks like. I wanted to give you guys a heads up. This is what it looks like when you go to it, and you can kind of see the rundown here. Go up here, click become a member or log in if you're already a member. And once again, if you want to actually support us over here, it's a great way to do it. You can watch the Golden Era documentary. Use promo code GOLDEN and get $27 off. I know you guys are tired of hearing about it, but I'm going to keep saying it over and over and over again. All right, let's get to some of your support, guys. Thank you very much. Mercenary says, it's always about the children. They want access. Thank you, Mercenary. Norm came in and says, a better for you product that includes plastic, chemicals with names that will give you a stroke when trying to pronounce it. I guarantee that the cheese in those kits have never seen a cow. Oh, man, nailed it right there. Space came in and says, more Mally talks, more attractive she gets, which is already a lot. Let's make it weird. All right, there you go, Space. Master Gawa says, remember when Anita went to the United Nations with her fellow grifter friend Zoe Quinn of Five Guys fame to complain about our games? Hashtag Gamergate1. Yes, she is. Listen, I told you, she's patient zero when it comes to this. Norm came in with the 10. Read that one as well. Kyle says, well, KSI and Logan need to get dragged in the mud. Well, we'll see if this will be a success or a failure here. And then Joey came in and says, Anita Sarkeesian is like that psychotic ex-girlfriend. And even years after you break up with her, she still stalks you. Thank you, Joey. Appreciate that. Great stuff right there from you guys today. Over on Rumble, I think we have some support. Let me see what we got over here. We do. And by the way, big ups to Desiree for the raid over on Kick. We really appreciate you, Des. Thank you for everything that you do for us and just being a great person. Love you. Frost says, I personally, and to think personally, I participated in speedrunning community event for St. Jude a few years ago. I now regret doing that. Thank you, Frost. Appreciate that. And Blake came in with the Rip Blabs over on Rumble as well. Over on Locals, we have some great support from Spoon Ninja. Thank you so much. She says it'll be taken out of context, but no one will see this. I like your Soy Roy new Kotaku editor. It's a picture of me, which is great. Nintendo march to the beat of their own drummer and is keeping them in business. Absolutely. And he said, makes Anita Sarkeesian your DEI officer. Ooh, Sounds fun. Thanks, Spoon. All right, you guys have been phenomenal today. Like I said, a little different show as Blabs is out sick, and but hey, we're going to be back at it again tomorrow. We got let me just do a quick glance and see who we have on our guest list tomorrow.
John Graham.
John Graham. Thanks, Blabs. How are you?
Okay.
Okay. You doing okay today?
I'm dying.
Oh, sad girl. Well, let's get you out of here. And then on Friday, Vera joins us again. Vera Dark, the lovely Vera Dark. So. Yes, we'll be back at it again tomorrow when we're going at it. See you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got to go get it. Hit the thumbs up button on your way out. See you guys tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Time. Bye-bye.
Fatality.